Hello and welcome to Sun Connection. As you can see tonight, I'm wearing a pink shirt. And I'm doing this because I want to talk to you about Barbie, the movie. I watched it recently and I told to myself that it was a perfect script to talk about Chiron and to illustrate the Chiron written energy. So, without further ado, let's talk about Chiron. Let's talk about the Chiron return, and let's pick some of the scenes from the movie to illustrate this discussion. Chiron in the chart actually points out to your emotional wound. It can be psychological, it can be physical. It's basically a vulnerability that you carry within you. And when you have a Chiron return, you basically have an opportunity to heal from that emotional wound. The Chiron return happens at around the age of 50. It takes around 50 years for Chiron to go around the sun and come back to its initial point in the chart. So between the age of 49 to 51, any man and woman are actually going through an identity crisis, and we call that in astrology the Chiron return. And the process is often the same. There are 4 stages. The first one, the wound come back to the surface. You feel it again. Then it's a time for reflection and understanding. Then you go through a process of healing. And if you heal from that process, it actually transforms your life. It's the spiritual transformation, the awakening that Chiron brings. When we look at the symbol of Chiron, we see that it looks like a key, because it's the key that opened the door to your full potential. So when we look at the movie Barbie, we basically realize that at the very beginning of the movie, she is living in Barbie Land. She is the representation of beauty and perfection. But our dear Barbie is actually going herself through an identity crisis. We can see that she has a feeling of inadequacy with the sense of perfection. She has bad breath, she has flat feet, she has cellulite, she's questioning about death, she has negative thoughts, and she basically, she's not in a good place. All these reality check about life actually take her to a place of anxiety where she feels totally unsecure, right? So this is the first energy of the Chiron return. It brings to the surface, it brings to light some of the wounds that you have buried internally. Then Barbie is having a cold shower. And this cold shower is the wake-up call that she needs to do something about it. And she decides to go to the real world. So the analogy of going to the real world, when we put it into astrology with Chiron, is basically going outside of your comfort zone. That's what Chiron do. It actually invites you to get out of your comfort zone. Let me say that it's more than an invitation. It's more than that. You basically have no choice. You have to go with the flow. There is one scene in the movie where, just before going to the real world, Barbie is given the option to take a pair of high heels or a pair of sandals. And automatically she goes for the pair of high heels. But there is Barbie wit that say, hang on a second, if you're going to the real world, you are going to take the sandals. Because there is no more lying to yourself. There is no, we are not in the world of illusion. We are not in the world of compromise. We are not in the world of seduction. We are in the world where you need to be grounded. You need to face your own reality. You need to be comfortable. This is you and just you. So that's what I understood from that movie. That's this analogy. So Chiron, yes, in a sense, provides you an opportunity to heal, but at the same time, the clock is ticking and you have no way to go back. You need to embrace that energy. You need to go with it. So let's go back to Barbie. She She experienced the second phase of the Chiron return, where she needs to understand her wounds, reflect on it, analyze them, understand them. So she goes to the real world, and in the real world, she's basically facing her internal wounds. She's facing sexism, she's facing rejection, she's facing her own vulnerability and her own imperfection. And this is a process that is very important in the Chiron return, because when you face those kind of situation, it's when you start to ask yourself the right question. It's when you want true truth in your life and authenticity, and that process in itself is looking for healing. And our dear Barbie is in this real world, and she's trying to make sense of her existence. And she also meets the creator of the doll. She meets Ruth Handler. And that's also a very Chiron message, because when you have the Chiron return, often you need to go back to the source as a process to understand the origin of the wound, and understanding where it comes from gives you an opportunity to heal from that. It's the process of comprehension. And then the movie continues. Barbie eventually maneuvers all the situations, and she heals. She actually accepts who she is with all her imperfection and insecurities, and she decides to live in the world of the humans, in the real world. And this is really why I wanted to do this video, because that process is the Chiron return in itself. It's the transformation, it's the spiritual transformation that the Chiron return brings to people's life. By accepting their imperfection, by being true and honest to themselves, and maybe eventually also to accept their own flaws and draw some kind of wisdom from that. The rest of the movie continues to be very Barbie, very pink and very beautiful. Barbie has healed. She has gone through this spiritual transformation, and she's starting a brand new beginning in the new world. So everything is great, and she will have a great life. But before I just finish this video, I also want to talk about another character in the movie. And that character is Ken. Because the movie the movie shows the positive vibe of the Chiron return and how it has played with Barbie. But for Ken, it played differently. When you have your Chiron return, if you embrace the energy and you reflect on your wounds and you accept them and you transform them, then great things will happen to you. But if you suppress them, then it's a different kind of energy that you attract to your life. Ken, in the world of Barbie Land, is the beach boy. He doesn't get much attention. He's very much undervalued, and he has no power. So it suggests that his internal wound would very be the wound of insecurity and inferiority, maybe. When he goes to the real world, as Barbie, he's living the transformation. But when he sees that the real world is run by men, he's actually projecting his ego wound onto others. And we can see how he masks his inner wound through aggressivity and dominance. He's very aggressive. So this is how the Chiron return can play if you don't embrace the energy. You turn into something that you're not. You lock yourself up into a system where you suppress all those emotions. Now, Barbie is a movie, and they want to have a picture-pretty ending of the movie. So at the end of the movie, Ken says, "I am just Ken enough." And that's a beautiful way to basically suggest that Ken has also found a way to heal from his internal wounds. He accepts his own identity, and he is sufficient into himself. So good on him. But it was quite clever the way they presented the two possibilities. That's it. I hope this short video actually helps you better understand the energy of Chiron and what the Chiron return means. Please, please, please leave me some comments underneath in the comment section. I'd be more than happy to respond to those questions. Please put thumbs up and share the videos, and stay tuned to our channel. We try to make it as interactive as possible by bringing different subjects and different ideas and discussing the energy of the planets. But if you want to learn more about astrology, and if you want to have a more intimate experience of reading your charts and working on your transits, please reach out to us privately, and we'll be more than happy to further discuss. Until then, stay tuned, have a beautiful day, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye.